Good day, and welcome to the first interview of the Youth Talk with myself, Sabam Mutise. Joining us today is a 17-year-old gay from a small town in the Free State called Brentford. He is a poet, a traditional healer, and a Persian queen. We will be discussing the trials and challenges he faced at an early age. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sindazam Limon.
Hi, it's Modise and everyone watching this video. It's a pleasant pleasure to be standing in front of everyone and sharing a bit of my story.
Wow.
Yes.
I understand that you grew up at a very strict home and a very traditional following home. Has the family been so accepting to you being gay?
I will not say they were so accepting because it was only my mother who took a part on my gayness. Because on the father's side, my father was always strict based on the culture that they thought that being gay is a case and being gay does not exist at all.
Wow. And it's so surprising that you grew up until this point, to a point where you are even becoming transgender from a strict father. How has it been? How did you do it?
It was very difficult because at some point I had to hide out. My mother had to stand up for me, had to take faults for everything that has been happening to the family, for my gayness, for coming out to the closet. It was always my mother on my side, but my father was always strict, was always violent and very, very angry at my gayness and myself from coming from the closet to being gay, exposed as gay.
Wow. Yes. It's really amazing how people get support from the outside world while we should be getting it from the inside world, and yes, that is at home. And then, while you were still going through all of those challenges, your father not accepting you, yes, you discovered that you have a calling. Yes. When did you discover that?
It's very so funny because I discovered my calling around November last year. It came as visions and blurry dreams. But I started getting sick with how I saw things and my visions of eyes. Mm-hmm. My eye contact started giving me problems, and we went to a medical doctor. Mm-hmm. A medical doctor told me that my eyes didn't have anything. Then I went to a traditional doctor. The traditional doctor told me that I had a calling, which I didn't even believe in because I was this strange gay. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. So, having all those things, did you get support from your parents and father?
Yes, that's the funny part because my father, coming from traditional things, he gave me a full force support. But I wondered why. Why did he give me this full force support? Because I was starting to experience it for the first time in my life. Because being gay, he didn't even bother. But in cultural things, he was the first leading the family.
Wow.
Yes.
And then I also heard that you are doing well academically. You're
yes,
doing well at school.
Yes.
Did all those signs affect your schoolwork?
Yes. They started affecting my schoolwork academically in November. It's life sciences because I was writing a test, then I didn't even attend it because my eyesight was giving me problems. So I dropped my marks very badly. But at the end of the year, I managed to pull up the socks and go to the next grade.
Oh, that is so amazing. And did you have any choice whether you agree or disagree to becoming this traditional healer?
No, I did not have a choice because it was like a life and death thing. Because it started with my eyes and went to my feet. When I took time accepting the calling, I always told my mother that I'm not going ever to be a traditional doctor. But it got to a point that, to an extent that it went to my feet. I couldn't even walk for a while. So it was a painful thing for me, and I was forced to accept it. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. And you fully accepted it right now?
I have fully accepted it, the calling.
Wow, that's so, it just to be so amazing.
Yes, that is true.
And while going through the ancestral journey, being disturbed at school, it happened that you had to go to the mountains. Please tell me about that.
Yeah, you can say it, I guess you can say it again. Going to a mountain, it was my father's idea. Yes. Eventually, it is so funny how ancestral things work. I also told myself that I'd rather leave my home rather than going to initiation school to the mountain. So it came to a point that I will not become a traditional doctor unless I go first to the initiation
It was also forced.
Yes, it was also forced. But finding information about going to the mountain, it was all my father's idea. Yes, because quite a lot of things happened last year, and it was a strain for me. So going to initiation school in the mountain, it was not my choice. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, it must not have been so easy being gay and being around all the men doing things that the men do and things that you were expected to do. How was the experience?
Oh, Tsepan, thanks for the question again. Sebamudise, when I went to the mountain, it was like I was traveling to another world, to another place where I'm starting to see things happen, where I'm starting to adjust to things, how things are done, because I'm that gay person. I'm not familiar to how things are done there, how men treat each other, how things are done and spiritually and physically. So it was a bloody thing for me, and it was a strain for me because I didn't at all want to be there. But yeah, I had a support from my grandfather who was always there. In Sekosa, we call Kanki. Yes, it's someone who always been there for you from the start until you go out to your home. So my grandfather was always there, but the people always went there to discriminate me, to tell me, where are your gay friends? Hi Bazala, hi Stabani, hi Bluetooth, where is your dress? Where is your makeup? All those things. I was so in a dark place, and I even tried to run away, but I told myself that I can do this. I can do this. I'm seeing this. I'm a lemon. I can do this.
Wow. So I heard you mentioning that the people who were coming there, what about the ones that you were being initiated with? Did they treat you differently?
Oh yes. The good part is about that. Is that the people that I was initiated with were my cousins, so they were already accepted
That's
me.
so lucky.
Yes, they loved how gays are. They loved how I speak, how the language of gays. So they were so familiar with gays, so they didn't have a problem at all. They even I remember one day they even stood up for me when the one guy came to the initiation school at the mountain and made a havoc there for me and told me, hey, guys, come here, show me that you are men and what. So my cousin stood up for me, and yes, it was quite a bad and positive and negative experience going to the mountain.
Wow. And the elders, how were they?
The elders were the same. The elders told me that I must live gay. I must stop being gay. I must leave the gay world. So I told myself like it was the end of the road. But the kanki, the person who was always looking for us, told me that be yourself. Initiation school is about practicing the culture, not changing who you are.
Yeah.
So he told me that be yourself after this initiation school period. Be yourself, be who you are, be proud of who you are. You have done everything that every expectations of people. So when you come out, be yourself, behave, but behave. Yes, that was the instruction I was given by my country.
Well, it's still surprising how people think that being gay is something that you want to do, not knowing that it comes naturally.
Yes.
I mean, who wakes up in the morning and says, I want to be gay? Who wakes up and decides that I want to live a life that will put my life in danger?
Yes.
Because gays live in danger.
Yes.
Yeah. So, lastly, about the initiation school. While you were there, did you feel that you are going to change, or that there's a possibility that you will change being gay and live a false life?
No, it was like a probability. it was a possibility, not, I did not feel it. It was a probability, possibility that I was going to change. I was going to be forced to be changed into being a straight guy, which I told myself that I'm not going to cope. I don't know how to act straight. I'm familiar with girls. I'm used to dressing like girls. So it troubled me in the initiation school, so of that how I was going to behave when I'm outside, how people are going to see me, the new Cindy, the new Cindy Sama, you know, the things that I used to do. Now going after girls instead of going after boys, you know, the gay talk. So it was a trouble for me in the initiation school. So it was not a mutual feeling for me. It was a possibility that I was going to be forced to change, which it did not happen. I did not allow it. Yes.
Wow. So when you came out, how were people around you? How did they treat you? How was the feeling?
Oh, Tepang, I can remember when I come out, when I first saw Brentford again with my eyes. Yes, there were a crowd of people watching me, phones up in the air, cameras, people cherishing me that I've made it back home. Some people were cherishing it, I made it back at home. Some people were saying that he has changed. No, not knowing that, no, I did it for traditional. Yes. So for the traditional intercourse. So when I came back, yeah, it was a quite experience for me to see that people loved me, people were there for me. Many friends were there for me. But I told myself that this is the end of being forced for being gay. Yes.
Wow. And then how do people look at you now?
Yes.
Are they different? Do they discriminate you?
Yes. Some people are so discriminating, especially men who have went to the initiation school. They always throw words like this to me. Why are you so humiliating our manhood? Why are you so humiliating our culture? Uyintoni, uyindoda, yintoni. So I always deny them the opportunity to interact with me. So silence is the best thing. I always keep quiet, like I don't owe this person a damn explanation about my life. He didn't even take a cent out of his pocket so that I can go to the initiation school.
Yes. So being a traditional healer and having gone to the initiation school,
Yes.
Does it change how you view the pageant world? Would you still enter them? Or what's going to happen from now?
Yes. When I got to this title, yes, I was still in Ibekelenia. I was still, it is called Ibekeleni. So I was still in the initiation school of traditional, being a traditional healer when I entered the pageant. So it did not disturb me because being able to communicate with your ancestors does not mean that you are not able to live who you are from the outside. You are speaking with your ancestors from the internal person, not from the external. So my facial expression, I will always take it out from the world. I will always enter the pageants no matter what. Ancestral things does not stop people from living their life, but there is time where you have to focus on things. There is time where they're going to give you a break that you live your life, do things that you want. So I don't see a problem going out and having to be able to participate in pageant things again.
Wow.
Yes.
So the question that I'm about to ask is out of context.
Yes.
Did you have any boyfriend before you did all of that?
Before I did the traditional
thing, the ancestral journey, and going to the initiation school.
Yes.
Tell me about it. How was he?
Yes, I did have a boyfriend, but the problem I had is that he went to the initiation school before me. So he had to watch me in the initiation school. So it was quite an embarrassing thing. Yes.
Imagine.
You can imagine, Babs, because when I started putting these beads for the traditional intercourse. He was so surprised. He was even scared to talk to me because he heard rumors that traditional healers or traditional girlfriends will will use witchcraft motifs on you for you to love them forever, because he's kind of bisexual, satisfying both sides. So he was scared. I told him that, Landa, I won't do that to you. So I thought that I've crossed the bridge, but it came to another level that I have to face another thing, another stream that my boyfriend had to watch me being initiated. And it was so embarrassing to me, also to him. He didn't even told me, but through facial expressions, I could see that he was so embarrassed. Because many people's questions were asked then, who is your boyfriend? What happened? Are you still a virgin? The questions were starting to pop up. So he was so scared that I could talk out his name that here is my boyfriend watching me in initiative school. How men will look at him. So it was such a journey. It was a negative and positive journey, funny and a sad one along the road. Yes.
Wow. Gays takes their own life because of things they face, because of the judgmental society.
Yes.
So what would you say, or what advice would you give to a young person going through the same thing you're going through?
Yes, I would like to say to people, especially parents and especially the young gays that are still in the closet, that you must stand for yourself. No matter how high it is, no matter how strict your father he is, no matter how strict your family is, no matter how cultural they are strict. So you must stand up for yourself, love yourself, experience life, experience freedom expressions, that you must come out to the people, to the world, to show them that being gay is not a sin, being gay is not a case, it just comes naturally. So I would like to say to people and to parents, love your children and support your children, because being gay is not a sin, it's not a mistake. It is still the same person, it is still the same child you have labored. But the difference is that their sexual intercourse is orientated. So I would like to say, the parents to love their children, the children to love themselves, accept themselves before cherishing it, the love to the other people. So acceptance is the best solution. Yes.
Wow, and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. She said it all. Join us next time where we interview another youth who faced challenges but still thriving today. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. It was a pleasant pleasure.
Thank you.